Nancy would interview Nilda, and she would find out, as you see on the page, what are her interests, her skills, and talents. And also, when's the time she's helped someone else, and when is the time someone has helped her. So students start to see the reciprocity, that every person has something to offer. So she interviews her, writes it down on her page, and then she returns and interviews her. So they now have completed an interview. There are 3 skill sets that students need in order to do this effectively. What would those 3 skill sets be? Anybody have an idea?
Listening.
Listening. Active listening. The students need to have active listening skills because they're going to be listening and taking in. What other 2 skills do students need in order to do this?
Interviewing.
Interviewing, which means to ask questions and also to write notes. These are 3 skills. So if you back up your page 2 pages, you're going to see a document called Getting Ready for Personal Inventory. Because if we just ask students, sit down and find these things out for a person, we've not prepared them. And this is important in education. Very often we assign a task, but we haven't given the underpinnings. Something that gives the students the skills they need. And remember we talked earlier that it's developing the skill set students need. We said the first skill we wanted kids to have is the ability to effectively ask questions. This will translate into other kinds of classes and situations. We need them to be active listeners. Again, a skill set that will translate to many situations. We want them to take notes, and that's a vital skill that they need in all curricular areas. As we practice it and go over it, this solidifies that skill. Remember we said once you use it, then you own it. Also, you'll notice that you could go 12 years in school and never conduct an interview, am I right? What's the first thing you need to do when you get out of school?
Be interviewed.
Be interviewed. So we need to start giving the students that skill set all the way up so they have it, and when they graduate from school, it's just bring it on. I know how to do this. I can read. I can dance. Just like that. And I was standing in the doorway, kind of like blown away as if a hurricane had just knocked into me. I was literally, my breath was taking away. And I looked around the room, and guess what I saw all around the room?
Everybody was dancing.
Everybody's bouncing. Everybody was bouncing. And I was kept watching all these kids with all this bounce to them. And I was just blown away. And then the rest of the day, the rest of the week, I kept thinking about this. And what it led to me was thinking about was developing what I call now, oh wait, there, bounce theory. So I know you need to see that again because that's a lot of fun. Bounce theory. So, what is that? I started asking everywhere I spoke for the next few years, at what grade level do we start systematically siphoning off the bounce? When do we really start siphoning off the bounce? Now I know you can say the minute they get to school, I know that. But when do we really systemically start taking the bounce away from kids?
Second grade.
You really can't stop that.
We can't stop it? But we do a good job of stopping it, and I'll show you one way we stop it. Have you ever seen a kid in high school get really excited? When a kid gets really excited, what do? They go like that, and what do we say to them? I'm not going to call on you unless what? I've seen this happen. I've done this myself. So we do take that bounce away. We do it and we pull it away. There are 4 ways to find out in the community what's going on. There are only 4 ways. Who knows one of them?
Print resources.
Print resources, media. We can use media to find out. Media is one. Anything in print or on the internet. That's film, newspapers, anything in the media. What's another way to do research? There's only 4. Interview. When you interview someone, you typically interview somebody with expertise, somebody who knows the topic. 3rd one, personal experience. Experience and observation. So you bring experience like I went to a nursing home once, or you create observation opportunities where you all go together. And the 4th way is to conduct a what? Experiment or a survey. An experiment would be more like an observation, or it's a survey if it's a social experiment. These are the only 4 ways that there exists. I've vetted this with college professors, high school students, or teachers around the world. There are only 4 ways. So instead of having kids being confused about research, we can demystify it and say there are only 4 ways.